Welcome everyone. This is our last session of the day, first day of Internet Retailer Conference and Exhibition 2014. And my name is Eric Best. I'm the CEO at Mercent. And I'm very pleased to be joined this evening by Supratim, who's from the Bing Ads team at Microsoft, and also Matt from eBay Enterprise. And so we're going to jump into a little bit of content, and then we're going to hear from both of these guys on the rise of product ads, or product listing ads, the importance of these emerging ad units or ad types in customer acquisition and order acquisition for retail advertisers. Just to set the stage here a bit, I have some content, well, maybe just a quick introduction in terms of what we do. So Mercent serves a portfolio of 550 retail brands, some of the largest names globally in retail. And what we do basically for those customers is help facilitate the distribution or syndication of their product data in the form of product ads, marketplace selling, many other digital advertising channels across the web. And we're concerned with visibility, the competitive stature of merchandising offers, and ultimately the profitability of those digital ad campaigns. Again, not represented on our panel today, but important to our business, along with Bing, we have product ads that are emerging from the likes of Amazon with their Amazon Product Ads program, and of course Google with their Product Listing Ads program. Just focusing on Google for a minute, as one of the earlier players in the market, if we take a look at the growth that we've seen in the Product Listing Ads market space, 18 months ago, Google made the decision to switch from a free Google product search program to a paid product listing ads program. And surprisingly or not so surprisingly, as competitive market for visibility on product listing ads emerged, we saw the growth of that new product listing ads program, the pay-to-play program, really explode. And you can see the results here on this particular slide. We actually hit a peak in terms of same seller year-over-year growth on Google product listing ads of over 100% last year. That was against some arguably soft comps immediately following this shift from free product search to paid ads. But we've really seen the program in the last few months mature and stabilize at around this 40% year-over-year same seller growth metric. So if we look at the next slide, you can see the results of that explosive growth of the program, in that for Mercent's customers today, if you look at the combination of brand keyword terms and non-branded long-tail paid search, product listing ads spend and revenue is approaching one-to-one equality with Google AdWords. So we're seeing, again, huge market share shift from text ads, AdWords, over to the product listing ads program. In fact, if you take out branded terms from the paid search campaign, product listing ads is now the largest paid advertising program that Mercent supports in our portfolio today. So with that, little introduction to Google, why don't we shift gears a bit, and Supratim, can you tell us a little bit more about the Bing Product Ads program? How does the program work? What are your expectations for the program? What's the opportunity for retail advertisers?
Sure, thank you. So at this point, it's news to nobody that Yahoo Bing network, especially Bing and Yahoo Bing network, is a must-buy. We are like around 30% of the US market. But more importantly, aside from the big volume from Google, Bing has a very different customer experience, much more visual, much more engaging, and also we have a very different customer base. We have like 65 million customer searches every month, and half of them, 35 million of them, you wouldn't see on Google. So this is a set of customers that you have to tap into Bing network, Yahoo and Bing network to get into. So we are off to a great comp and great growth in retail segment overall, product ads and text ads. So as a segment, as a retail segment, last quarter, year over year, we grew about 17%, which is same as Google. And we actually grew our click volume more than Google.
That's for the overall Bing advertising program
for retail segments.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
In the retail category.
Correct. Yep. And this came from like a previous quarter, the shopping season, we grew like over 30%. So that was like a tremendous growth. So we are off a great start, and same goes for mobile. We are growing over 100%. Specific to product ads, we have been kind of a little bit late into the party, but we have done tremendous progress. And last September, we went to a beta, invitation-only beta. We had over 100 advertisers, and then March this year, we went to a general availability. So now our customer segments are growing tremendously. The volume is increasing very rapidly, and we are seeing that in the current shopping season, we would have multifold increase into the volume. So it's a great opportunity for this shopping season to come take advantage of that marketplace.
So the program is available to all retail advertisers.
Correct. The program is available to all retail advertisers. In fact, from all the fine tunings we have done through the beta program, we are seeing compared to non-brand text clicks, our product ads giving over 70 to 80% higher revenue per click. And also, given the competition is still starting up, the CPCs are lower, considerably lower. So that's like a tremendous ROI for early adopters at this point. So part of the shopping season budget for YBN definitely has to be the product ads budget for our customers. And not forgetting the other programs we have, like site links and location targeting, specifically driving to higher category queries and traffic to your store. Plus we also have new programs coming up, like image extensions that would be piloted before the shopping season. So great opportunities to start kind of merchandising around the more broader query categories. So lots of good things coming up for the shopping season for Bing, and we are really looking forward to the growth and the opportunity.
Oh, that's great. You had a couple of data points that I think you mentioned already, but let's hit the slides quickly. So if you want to just walk us through this. So you already mentioned very little overlap with Google advertising audience.
Right. So we have a unique customer base, and if you hit the next slide, please. So we have kind of, if you see the mobile chart, we have grown very, very exponentially in our mobile platform, and we get to talk a little bit more in the Q&A section, I guess. And also in the coming up from a very great Q4, we are getting to also a very hit market growth in the last quarter.
Yeah, that's great.
So if you can hit the next slide, we are over-indexed on the key categories like higher income, higher education, more targeted ad groups, age groups for our retailers as well. And if you hit the next slide, please. So as I mentioned, like things like site links, things like location extensions, things like call extensions, these are also supplementary products to just product ads, because you need to have a more broader portfolio. And like Google, we see great high click-through rate, great share of voice for advertisers who like wisely mix these into their ad programs.
Makes sense.
So I think we covered most of it. One last thing I would cover, quick tips for shopping season. We have seen that early adopters of our program have done tremendously well for the program, but sometimes the budgets are not enough for the growth, because the growth has been a slow start and now it's rapidly ramping up. Or also kind of the bids are not geared for the share of voice for all product categories. So a lot of products still are falling through
So retailers who have gotten accustomed to the pre-general availability beta are being overly conservative in terms of their spend and their bidding.
Correct. And especially if your all product categories have low bid, you wouldn't know which products are not surfacing because your bid too low, and then missing the volume and the impressions to fine-tune and adjust your bids.
Got it. So you're encouraging retailers to revisit performance metrics to get a better handle on the current behavior of the program.
And the budgets, of course.
And the budgets, yeah. Okay.
So, and one last thing, like we have few, we are doing a mobile product ads pilot right now. Various increased footprints and the UI treatments are being piloted right now. So lots of content APIs would be available. So a lot of new programs and betas would be available as well around the product ads category before the shopping season. So while kind of true and tested campaign policies work out for shopping seasons, but these are opportunities to further kind of push the envelope around this.
Yeah, we'll come back and hit a few of these here in a minute. So great. Well, so thanks. That's a fantastic overview of the Bing product ads program. So Matt, thanks for your patience, and would love to hear a little bit about your perspective on some of these programs as you're leading up the eBay Enterprise digital marketing programs for retailers.
Sure. When we're speaking specifically about Bing product ads, I think it's an exciting additional area to grow into. eBay Enterprise represented the largest beta tester for their product ads. Our brands did. I think we had 8 in the beta test in November and December of this last year. Mm-hmm. That said, we have about 100% adoption across Google product listing ads, but we're probably at 30% Bing product ads so far. And a lot of that is just just getting through it. You have to register it in advance, and there's some things, some steps to be taken in advance that are slowing it down, but I expect to see 100% adoption before Q4 this year for our brands. And so I think anytime we can expand this in the space, I feel this is where a lot of our industry is going. We could talk about that at length either now or during the QA, but I feel that more and more of our particular rarefied industry is becoming programmatic, and that'll be a lot of that framework is being built now, and a lot of the content will be delivered by data feeds of which these product ads are built on.
Yeah. So why don't you walk us through some of the best practices and guidelines you have for
Sure.
Observations on industry metrics.
Sure. And so I represent eBay Enterprise, which is a segment of eBay, and they are hyper-focused on commerce and for retailers. So they do soup to nuts, anything, they act as a full delivery service for anything a retailer might need, including call centers, fulfillment centers, platform creation, website build out, and then I represent a small segment of that in the Marketing Solutions Group, and I run the paid search team, which now is about 36 individuals, and we also moved into paid social this year. But the overall team, the digital team, also has display, email, affiliate, etc.
Pretty broad marketing mix.
Pretty broad, yes. Anything a retailer might need, we have a service level to provide.
Great.
So I wanted to just provide on this first slide a couple of illustrations of where I've seen the market go this last year. So we're looking at year over year, the last 6 months here. You'll see that the media spend allocations for product listing ads specifically has grown significantly. So last year, we were probably January after Q4 of 2012, we were about 10%. We dipped down February, March as everybody went to recalibrate and figure out and stop doing all products that they were doing before and really start building out a more detailed program. And then for that, we then built out more and more retailers based on the original ones that we had success with. And now we're seeing overall continual growth in year over year, and I expect to see the same growth path continue into 2015 as we probably double year over year again.
So do I read this correctly that a quarter of your customers' digital marketing spend is allocated toward product listing ads?
A quarter of our paid search digital marketing spend is allocated to product listing ads. I want to show some revenue sources. So if you look here, if we were going to look back 18 months ago, we would show that where we see PLAs now, comparison shopping engines, we're 10, 11% of the spend in 2011, 2012. When product listing ads came out, they really crushed that business model. And now you see right now for 2013 represent less than 1% of total revenue for our clients. So you'll see paid search is the bulk of it still, but product listing ads year over year doubled in size how much they're doing. And this is revenue provided. So this is not necessarily spend, this is revenue that they're providing. And as we get better and more targeted with our programs, I expect to see additional revenue generated from these areas.
Yeah. Okay.
If I was going to look at it in a funnel and have branded, non-brand, and PLAs, I would say we'd want to fund branded opportunities first. Then, as a new segment, fund product listing ads or product ads, and then finally look at the non-brand.
And that's really an inversion of
Completely,
prior.
complete inversion, yes.
Yeah.
And that's really, it's all about conversions, where the conversions are being found. And now as consumers get more comfortable and the tools increase and get more detailed, that we can take additional optimization actions, I would expect that conversions to increase on product ads.
Great. Well, walk us through some of the form factors here, the ad unit and some best practices.
And I feel like Supratim, and you've already talked about some of the why we want to do this, and this is really what the slide is talking about.
Yeah.
Any retailer needs to be in this space, and for that they need a couple things. They need a good data feed, good clean data feed. They're going to need high quality images, and they're going to need a provider like Mercent or another provider on the street who
no,
name.
just us.
Yep. To really focus their thing, and then they're going to need somebody inside to understand how to allocate funds and optimize those the product data feeds for maximal success. And the rules are very close for what product listing ads and Bing product ads are doing, but there are some nuances to understand as well.
Okay.
So here, this is just as you're getting ready to allocate your funds, just a sort of an inverted funnel. You want to start with breaking out the top performing categories. From that, you want to break out the top branded products, top products. Make sure you've addressed those items first before you go into more of an all products bucket. So address your, it's going to be about granularity and specificity that's going to create the most optimal success for your data feed and your product ads.
Hey,
and
just a quick aside on this. As we think about Google Shopping campaigns roll out and the structural changes for that program, does this still hold true?
In general, it holds true. What the Google Shopping ads are going to provide are a lot more tools for us to become more granular, more specific on what we do, and also adding in benchmarking data in terms of what our impression share is, to know if we're in the ballpark compared to our competitive set for our particular retailer.
Yeah.
And that's something that's been a black box before, but now gives us some ability to see where we should be in the market, and also helps us go back to our retailer and ask for additional, maybe incremental dollars, saying there's additional opportunity that we hadn't seen before, but now we see where we are in the marketplace, and we can address that now.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
This is more best practices. Just segmenting these for success is really. In the beginning, everybody started with the all products ad, and now with these new tools, with Mercent, with some of the things that Google Shopping and Bing product ads are bringing us, we want to be more and more granular and specific in how we provide overall strategy for the campaign, and then the detailed specific pieces that call out each level. In a perfect world, we want to be at the PID level, the product identification level, and group each of those SKU groups into those PIDs to build out to the most successful campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And this here, I know we're going to talk a little bit more about mobile as we go forward, but this is just showing year over year, on average in 2013, or in the last 6 months, 23% of our traffic came from mobile devices. And that's a significant growth over time, what we saw prior to that. Now, if we're looking at product ads specifically, I would say about, over this last year, we saw about 30% of total product ad visits from a mobile device.
Yep.
So about 16 to 20% mobile, and then the rest being tablet. And so that really shows where the market's going, and it's only showing a growth pattern up as everybody becomes more and more comfortable with that. What Google added with their carousel feature on the PLAs was very helpful in this space.
Yeah.
And then just if you're building these out, just recommend the same thing, the same tenets of how all paid search works is test and learn. Or all search in general works is test and learn. Never be complacent in what you're doing. Always challenge your assumptions and continue to build out in more and more detailed campaigns.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the tools continue to evolve, so make sure you're aware of it if you're not evolving with them right away.
As far as our data goes, that 23% of traffic is correlated with about 25% of total transaction value is now mobile, last click mobile attribution. So it's very important. Well, great. So fantastic content, guys, and that sort of brings us to the end of the formal presentation, if you will. But I do have a couple of follow-on questions I wanted to pose to both of you. Let's start with Supratim. So as we think about Bing product ads and opportunities pre-holiday, or sort of critical path to scale on your platform. I think you already mentioned one thing that retailers need to do, which is to revisit the campaign budget and the bidding strategy. What else can we expect from the program as we head into Q4 this year?
Right, so we, earlier this year, like I said, we went general availability, so all this time we have fine-tuned the performance of the product. So right now our ROI is great, oftentimes better than Google because the competition has kind of saturated over there.
Yep.
So right now, from now to shopping season, it's a lot more kind of optimization around scale and volume for us. So you'd see a lot of experimentation with a greater footprint of product ads compared to the overall ad slate. You'd see bigger, more prominent positions, and better optimization around the standard ads and the product ads.
Can you talk about how the visibility of the product ads is ramping at this point? Can we expect that are we approaching critical mass in terms of the frequency that those ads serve relative to other ad units?
So right now, product ads for the participant retailers who are fully optimized, about 12% of their sales compared to the non-brand text ads are from product ads. So it's about 12%. Google is around 30%, 35% for non-text, non-brand text ads. So that's the current level. That was Q1 number. That we have achieved without significantly showing in the main line, in the main fold, right? So both on mobile and on the main kind of desktop and tablet, you'd see more and more main line positions surface for product ads. So that volume would rapidly grow and at least grow around 20% or more. So that's one area where you'd see a lot more kind of accelerated growth in terms of volume, and things that I said about budget and bids kind of has to keep up with that to take advantage of that.
Yeah, makes sense.
The other things that you'd see is you mentioned programmatic, so content APIs like managing the feed faster, more quicker, keeping it more fresh, especially before the shopping season. That's a feature that's coming before the shopping season. So heavily asked by all our advertisers and partners, especially the partners, and that would be arriving before. Plus more transparency, more reporting, more feed level reporting, more product level reporting. So overall, we want to keep with, while Google is changing the structure, we want to keep compatibility with that, but also kind of give much more flexibility and transparency to our advertisers.
Yeah, okay, that's very helpful. Let's go back to a topic we hit on earlier. Matt, you were talking about the importance of mobile ads. Do you want to expound on that? What's the opportunity for retail advertisers, and what are some of the execution challenges?
So as I said, mobile is growing, and the opportunity is to follow that traffic and continue to build your campaigns out for success in a mobile space. However, if we're looking at conversions in general, like as our success metric for this, let's say in general my brand saw maybe a 3 to 4% overall conversion from product listing ads, maybe a little less for apparel brands so far, as we're still getting, they have a little more detail that has to be done to them that I think that will make them more successful. But mobile conversions are still holding, so I think 3 to 4%, mobile conversions are still holding under 1%, maybe at 6.5 to, or 0.625 or maybe 0.75. And those are relatively flat month over month over month. So two things occur to me. One, what those mobile ads are representing are people who are heading into store that we don't have the proper tools and metrics to measure how they were successful. But also we haven't fully taken advantage of all the local opportunities. And I think until we marry mobile up with the local opportunities and really parse down those product ads to speak to an individual district or store level, show the right pricing, the right promotions, that's when the conversions are really going to show a significant increase in the mobile space.
Okay. Supratim, you want to add anything on the mobile topic?
Sure. So on the mobile front, we see tremendous growth. In fact, we have seen last year, we have seen 116% growth year over year. So we serve around 6 billion impressions a month, and by the shopping season with that same kind of growth, which we expect to continue, we'd see a 20% increase of that. So while not great, but that's still a very fast emerging market. And we are a little bit over indexed from between phone and tablet. We are in more comfortable position with the tablet and with Windows new tablet interface kind of catching up. That's where you're seeing like greater conversions and greater ROI. So this is an area that we also see a tremendous amount of growth.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. All right, last question, guys. So, and I'll direct this to both of you. So, just as we think about product ads, and the overall digital advertising ecosystem for retailers, any trends that you feel are accelerating, indicative of kind of, again, opportunity or challenges for retail advertisers as they think about product ads as a specific ad unit or channel type?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
If you like.
Sure. So one thing I think you touched on a little bit, we see this trend of omni-channel, right? With web rooming and showrooming kind of coming together. That has changed the retailers a lot. From the consumer side, we haven't seen that fully baked out. So as we go further, and I think product ads, just the fact that it is a very inventory level, very actionable, great asset for the users. We would see, I hope, and I think we would see much more kind of innovation on that front, where taking from the web rooming to the store and back, and compared to your traditional text ads, which is primarily an advertising, this is more a dialogue with the consumer. So when this goes beyond the normal SERP and goes into deeper into the operating system, deeper into kind of assistant like Siri or Cortana or Google Now, we would see much more innovation on that front. So that's something to keep an eye on. And post shopping season, I think there would be a lot of opportunities to expand on that.
Yeah, makes sense. Matt?
I see two things. Now, my view is a little more narrow because I represent paid search, but my team's also moved into paid social this last year. So if I represent 80 or 90 brands in paid search, maybe I have a dozen in paid social. And those are showing up in Pinterest, in Facebook, a little bit of Twitter, and there's other opportunities there. So for us, a couple years ago, we would never see conversions in that space, but now we're seeing significant conversions that can compete with a paid search ad or a product listing ad. So we want to follow that traffic and expand it and exploit it as much as possible to make sure we're serving our consumers and capturing any market opportunity there, which is something completely different from where my perspective on social was 2 years ago. And then the other thing, as we touched on earlier, is that more programmatic. Our whole industry is moving to a more programmatic space. Maybe it happens tomorrow, more likely it happens 5 years from now. And I've never worried about the robots replacing us, but they can make us more and more efficient and make us grow to scale. And data feeds are the source of a lot of that. That these, what we're talking about today are products built upon data feeds. And I feel those data feeds are becoming more utilitarian for maybe populating text ads in the future, or other areas that we need more instantaneous response than what a human optimizer can do. And I think that we will continue to expand our expertise and our technology to take advantage of that. And so I would recommend agencies and retailers who are looking towards the future to really make sure that they're on top of that technology.
Great.
With Mercent.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pay you later for the promotion. Well, guys, thanks so much for the great, valuable content and tactics that retailers can use this year and beyond to improve their product ad campaigns. So, Supratim, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Matt, thanks a lot. And thanks everyone for watching.